However, you have to study what is antiflexion, antiversion, and what is retroversion. All right, and how retroverted uterus is corrected. How retroverted uterus is corrected. All right, let us come to urinary system. As you know, that genital and urinary system develops from the intermediate cell mass. It develops from intermediate cell mass, right? I have taught you that intra-embryonic mesoderm is divided into three series, three columns. That is the paraxial mesoderm, from which the somites develop, lateral plate mesoderm, where the coelomic cavity develops, and the intermediate cell mass that connect these two give rise to genitourinary system. Right? By around 4th week, there is a column of intra-embryonic mesoderm that is known as nephrogenic column. But in the upper part, that is in the cervical and upper thoracic region, there is a segmentation that is called nephrotome, and the lower part is unsegmented, that unsegmented part is known as the nephrogenic cord, right? Now, the urinary and genital system are complementary to each other. Genital and urinary system are complementary to each other because development of one induces the other. Development of one induces the other. You know that the urinary system is related to elimination of toxic metabolites and creating balance of water and electrolyte balance, whereas the genital system, that is the gonads, are gonads are related to maintenance and propagation of the species. So urinary system is for elimination of toxic products of protein metabolism from the body, as well as maintenance of water and electrolyte acid-base balance in our body. And the genital system, that is gonads, are responsible for maintenance and propagation of the species. Right? Now, we see the appearance of three developmental stages appear in the development of kidney. Number 1, pronephros. Number 2, mesonephros. Number 3, metanephros. Alright. The first tubule that I have drawn is the pronephric tubule. So the pronephric tubule with the glomerulus, pronephric funnel and the peritoneal glomerulus. These tubules are around 7 to 8. These tubules are around 7 to 8 in the first appearing in the cervical and upper thoracic region. Later, these pronephric tubules are when there is development of mesonephric kidney. There is only the duct of the pronephric tubules remains. Tubules degenerate. Only the duct remains. That is called the primary excretory duct or the mesonephric. Now to be called mesonephric duct with the development of the mesonephric tubules. As you see, mesonephric tubules are S-shaped with the Bowman's capsule-like indentation, where there is the tubules receive the glomerulus from the lateral branches of the dorsal aorta. This part is the mesonephric tubules with the mesonephric duct, and you see in the lower end from the mesonephric duct there is a budding of a tube which is known as ureteric bud. When the mesonephric kidney degenerates, it also degenerates, it passes away the mesonephric duct and the ureteric bud. What is remaining from the mesonephric duct? That is the ureteric bud that will give us rise to the metanephric kidney and the communication, the common excretory duct, communication with the bladder, urogenital sinus of the that forms the bladder, and there is the communication with the bladder in the lower part. Right? Now you see in the developmental stage of the metanephric kidney, what we see remnants of mesonephric tubules and ducts. Remnants of mesonephric tubules and duct. In male, this mesonephric tubules forms efferent tubules of testes, and the ducts form canal of epididymis, vas deferens, seminal vesicle. All these are developed from the mesonephric duct, and in case of female, tubules of epifuron and parafuron, tubules of epifuron and parafuron, as well as duct of epifuron, that is the Gartner's duct. These are the remnant of these mesonephric tubules in case of female. Understood? This part is, the duct is remaining and is now communicating with the urogenital sinus. Urogenital sinus is the part that develops the bladder, urinary bladder. And the budding out tube is the ureteric bud. And you see, around the ureteric bud, there is a tissue. There is a nephrogenic tissue which is known as metanephric blastema. That is called metanephric blastema, a tissue around the ureteric bud. That is called metanephric blastema. And following it, there is division of the ureteric bud. Number one, first division, that is the upper and lower, forms the major calyx. From second, third, fourth, these divisions form the minor calyx. And up to 13 divisions, all the metanephric caps or the divisions of the ureteric bud give rise to a lobulated structure. That is, in case of kidney is a lobulated structure. It forms a lobulated mass. cellular appearance, bilaminar cellular appearance, which is known as the, from it develops the renal vesicle. From this bilaminar cell structure develop the renal vesicles. Now the renal vesicles enlarges, and there is at first formation of the collecting part. At first there is formation of the collecting part from the renal vesicle. Later it connects with the excretory part, and there is formation of the loop of Henle. There is formation of the loop of Henle, the pretubular and the peritubular plexuses, and the collecting part communicates with the collecting part communicates with the excretory part, giving rise to the permanent structure of metanephric kidney. When the collecting and excretory part communicates with each other, then the permanent metanephric kidney with full function of a kidney tissue comes up by 9th week. Collecting tubules start functioning by 9th week, and if there is an obstruction between and there is no communication between the collecting part and the excretory part, there will be formation of some vesicles, cystic vesicles within the kidney, which is known as the polycystic kidney. When there is no communication between the collecting part and the excretory part, and in some time the renal vesicle enlarges without communicating with the main collecting tubules. This will also give rise to cystic degeneration within the kidney. This will also give rise to polycystic kidney. Right. Now, as you can see from this metanephric cap, the appearance of metanephric cap, when this will come as a single mass, it will come as a lobulated mass. দেখে কি মনে হচ্ছে? দেখে মনে হচ্ছে না এগুলো যখন এক জায়গায় জড়ো হবে একটা, there will be a lobulated mass, right? In early part of development as well as in the newborn, there is such lobulated kidney, and in case of bear, bhalluk, in case of bear and aquatic mammals, there is such lobulated kidney. In these developmental stages, we see number 1 pronephros, number 2 mesonephros, and number 3 is the metanephros. From the mesonephros, what we get is the mesonephric duct. From the mesonephric duct, what we get is the ureteric bud, and this ureteric bud gives rise to the from the nephrogenic cord tissue, that is the metanephric blastema around this ureteric bud, which gives rise to the divisions, giving rise to major calyx and minor calyx, and the rest of the divisions give rise to the collecting tubules. Around this metanephric cap, what we see, there are cell clusters. There are bilaminar cell clusters. From these bilaminar cell clusters, renal vesicles develop. These renal vesicles become connected with the main collecting part. At first, there is no loop of Henle, but later within this collecting part, formation of loop of Henle. When loop of Henle has come, there is functioning of the tubules as a metanephric kidney tubule, which starts functioning by 9 months. It starts functioning by 9 months. Okay? And when there is obstruction to the communication between the excretory part and collecting part, there will be degenerated tubules which give rise to cystic development within the kidney tissue, which is known as the polycystic kidney. Polycystic kidney are of two types. Number one, in case of newborn, and in case of adult, one is autosomal dominant and another is autosomal recessive. These two types of polycystic kidney we see. The metanephric kidney gives the appearance of a lobulated organ. This lobulated organ is present in early development in case of human being, and it is a permanent kidney. Lobulated kidney is a permanent kidney in case of bear and aquatic animals. Right? Now pronephros is present in case of some fishes and amphibians. After this pronephros, which degenerates after some time, there is the appearance of mesonephros. Mesonephros is present in reptiles, birds and human beings. That is in the amniotes. The mesonephros is present in the amniote, and in human being, this mesonephros gives rise to the development of the metanephric kidney. Metanephric kidney shows development in two stages. That is the development of the excretory tubules and the collecting ducts. Alright. Now you read this one by one and try to understand where is the mesonephric ridge by the side of the mesentery. From the dorsal aorta, the mesonephric ridge. From the mesonephric ridge, the mesothelial cells proliferate more medially, giving rise another ridge, which is called the genital ridge. I forgot to draw that. The mesonephric ridge, from close to the medial to it, there is proliferation of mesothelial cells, giving rise to another ridge, which is known as the genital ridge, from which the gonads will develop. So, thus we have seen that the development of urinary system, that is the kidney, inducing the development of the gonadal tissue, that is called, one is complementary to the other, right? This far is all right. Only one thing is remaining, that is the anomalies of development of the kidney. Anomalies of development of kidney. So it will take some time. Comes in the first the kidney comes in the pelvic cavity. Then it crosses the pelvic brim, comes to the right iliac fossa, right or left iliac fossa. From there it passes upwards at the stage of L1, L2, L3 and meets with the suprarenal gland. The main cause of the ascent of kidney is, number one, continuous enlargement of the ureteric bud, that is the ureter. Ureter is continuously enlarging, and there is uncurling, that is fetal tissue is like this in a flexed state, and when this state ends, there is much lengthening of the ureter. Together with the blood vessels that supply the ureter, that also changes, starting from the medial sacral artery to common and internal iliac artery, after that renal and gonadal artery, after that the suprarenal artery. There will be a question will come about the ascent of kidney or the blood supply of ureter. Oh, another is peritoneal blood vessel. Blood supply of ureter is very important because in case of myomectomy, in case of any operation involving the posterior abdominal wall, like the myomectomy for a women, myomectomy, whenever you touch the posterior aspect of the uterus to remove the tumor, you are in a risky position because just behind that ureter is plastered. Alright. Now if you do not know what is the position of the ureter, what I have said, behind the broad ligament, that is behind the uterus, the ureter is plastered to the posterior aspect of the broad ligament. And if you fail to identify the ureter, you may injure the ureter. Okay? No one tries to open the posterior abdominal wall. Alright, everyone knows the risk. Alright. So all these blood vessels, including the peritoneal vessel, supplies the enlarging ureters as well as the shifting kidney. And shifting ascent of kidney is completed when it is communicated with the artery from the suprarenal gland. We get 3 arteries to the suprarenal gland. Number 1, superior, that comes from the inferior phrenic. The mating one comes from the abdominal aorta. The inferior one or the lower one from the renal artery. So when the kidney comes and blend with this renal artery supplied from suprarenal gland, the ascent is completed. If you are asked how far the kidney will ascend, still it gets the blood supply from the inferior suprarenal artery. How long the kidney will ascend? How far kidney will ascend? Kidney will ascend, still it gets blood supply from the inferior suprarenal artery that comes from that gives the renal artery to the ascending kidney. Alright, this much is and the risk to the ureter in case of myomectomy, as the ureter is plastered to the posterior surface of the peritoneum. Posterior surface of the peritoneum, the ureter is plastered. If you try to cut the broad ligament, there will be injury to the ureter. Alright, this is very risky. Alright. Now other things are remaining, that is fused kidney, horseshoe shaped kidney, accessory renal artery, single kidney, double ureter, like this, these anomalies. This will be discussed next day. A peritoneal fold from the posterior abdominal wall attaches to the kidney. The peritoneal fold from the posterior abdominal wall attaches to the kidney, and the kidney becomes floating. From the posterior abdominal wall, a peritoneal fold is coming to the lateral surface of the kidney, and the kidney becomes floating. And this floating kidney gives rise to twisting of the blood vessels at the hilum. This floating kidney causes twisting of the blood vessels at the hilum together with the ureter. Right? Floating kidney causes twisting of the blood vessels at the hilum together with that of the ureter, that causes sudden severe pain in the loin region. As well as sudden suppression of urine. This is known as Dietl's crisis. DIETL apostrophes. This is known as Dietl's crisis. You will be asked in the examination, number 1, congenital anomalies of developmental anomalies of kidney, short note on polycystic kidney, and notes on ascent of kidney. These three questions will come, 10 marks question will come for this chapter, that is the development of kidney and ascent of kidney, right? This is the mesonephric reed, and more medial to it is the gonadal reed. This one is the mesonephric reed, this one is the gonadal reed.